there. But Piazza, we've been waiting a long time for. We were kind of unsure. Kind of unfair to Mike, everything with the steroid speculation. I think those guys should get in, but that's a topic for another video. My thing is, there are three people on this earth that did not believe that Ken Griffey Jr. should be in the Hall of Fame. There were three people out there. Now think about this, folks. Three people that thought that Ken Griffey Jr. is not a Hall of Fame player. I challenge any of those three people. You can email me, chris@nycradio.com, and I'll have you on. I will have you sitting right here. Or we'll go in studio, and we will discuss, and I will ask you, what makes you think that Ken Griffey Jr. is not a Hall of Famer? Either their egos are so big, or they are just lost. Either of one of those things that I just brought up, those three people should be stricken from ever voting for anything again in their lives. Either you got a big ego, or you're just stupid and you don't know baseball. And you definitely should not be voting players in for the Baseball Hall of Fame. Big ego, or you don't know what you're talking about. Because clearly, it was a case of both, or just one or the other. Because I don't know how you could sit here and say that Ken Griffey Jr. is not a Hall of Fame player. You have to be an asshole to think that he's not a Hall of Fame player. Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, I do think that they'll get in. One way or the other. I may be wrong, but I think they should. Listen, John Schmaltz said a very interesting topic on the MLB Network when they were having the whole discussion about this with Brian Kenny. And listen, taking steroids just doesn't give you numbers. I mean, there are people out there that have taken steroids and PEDs that they're career minor leaguers. You've never heard of these people. I think Bonds was a Hall of Fame player, you could say, before he started using steroids. And the old saying is that he started to use it in '98 because he was jealous that he knew McGwire and Sosa were cheating and they were getting the attention. Maybe. But you know what? You look at Barry Bonds up until '98, '99, he's a Hall of Fame player. I don't know when Clemens started doing it, but there's speculation around 97, 98, 99, around that time. I think Clemens is a Hall of Fame player before the steroids, so I think they'll get in. I think A-Rod should get in. And I do think Pete Rose should get in. It's something that is very troublesome. You want to ban him from baseball? Listen, the rule is the rule. He broke the rule. He should never be in baseball ever again. Ever. But to me, there's no question. And you can't sit here with these people going, there's the Baseball Hall of Fame, and then there's everything else. Well, you can't sit here and tell me that the Baseball Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame when you do not have your own hit leader in there. And let's fast forward. If people are saying this 2-3 years from now, you don't have the all-time home run leader. You don't have Roger Clemens, one of the greatest Cy Young pitchers of all time, and you don't have the all-time hits leader in your Hall of Fame. So how does your Hall of Fame separate themselves from everyone else? Oh, it does. It's a joke, because those guys should be in the Hall of Fame.